Okay.
Okay. So now that it's recording, you're gonna get a copy of it starting from right now.
Okay.
So what I mean by call, like, are you like talking? Are you like having communication with him? No, but you kind of want him to come back a little bit, right? We're thinking about him.
I don't want to initiate contact at this point. I won't contact him again. So at this point, I guess it's him.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah. So I would say, so the first card you pull is Six of Pentacles, and that's pretty interesting because that talks about our grounding energy and kind of like keep working at it a little bit. So whatever it is you're doing, it's almost like you're doing something energetically to like bring this guy around. And we can all do things to like have people pop up around us all the time, right? And sometimes like whenever somebody calls you and they're like, "Hey, I was just thinking about you. That's weird. Like now you're calling me." That little shit. That's what I'm talking about. So I would say Six of Pentacles talks a lot about progress, but also to keep working at whatever it is you're doing. For a relationship reading, I definitely feel like this is a moment that's going to take time. That if you want it to work with this guy, you're gonna it's gonna be like a constant working situation. I mean, he's an ex for a reason, right? So you got to like look at how it ended, and if you guys can approach things differently, then I would say it might stand a chance of working out. But Ten of Swords, ooh, um, comes in and talks about like swords are our air element and anything from the neck up, like our mentality, like kind of around the relationship. And the 10 usually means like you're at the end. You're at the end of where things are supposed to be. Um, so whenever you see the Ten of Swords, like the worst is kind of past. If you were having like just a really shit time with relationships in general, or love, or advice around love, with somebody like advising you, and you were like, ugh. Yeah, yeah. So whatever that was, if that was not serving you well, then I think we're kind of done with that. I want
That's
to see you
like
like,
advice given to me about him.
yeah, yeah. Like I
But
want to see you like kind of like, just we're done with this. We're done with
that's what
this.
I'm confused about because I've gotten all kinds of mixed things about him. Like, yes, like if I hang on, it'll be worth it, or no, he'll never change, move on. Like I've gotten so many mixed things about him, so I'm confused. Like I don't know what to do about him.
Okay, so I feel like if you pursue it, like you seriously have to pursue it, and so does he. Like he has free will in this situation, even though you're getting a tarot reading like about him, he has free will to be like, this is shit is not for me. Okay. But Ten of Swords talks a lot, I think, about like just I think there's too many people in your business
Mm.
for whatever reason. I don't know if you're just going to a lot of readers about this or there's just like a lot of people advising you. Um, but there's just too many people in your business, and I think you need to have more alone time with him to make a better decision. But that hasn't happened yet, has it?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Is it okay for me to contact him, or should I just keep doing what I've been doing and just wait for him if he decides to? And if not, then I guess I won't hear from him.
Oh, I think you're going to be holding out for a long time because it's almost like he wants you. I think you're going to have to make the first move.
Oh,
So
God.
I know that's hard, right? So the next card you pull is the Forgiven card. And
Mhm.
it's interesting because it's almost like you have to kind of forgive the past version of you that was already with him. I don't think you're stepping into a new mistake. I think people have advised you that it's a mistake.
Mhm.
But I think the two of you have kind of grown a lot. Has it been a long time since you've been with this guy? Like,
We did it for 9 months, and at first, he pulled away for like a week, and he came back. I did forgive him,
yeah.
and we didn't officially break up. I kind of asked him for more time because when he did the first ghosting thing, I said, "You promised me the world and to give me more time, and now I'm getting less." And instead of responding to me, he never even reached out to me at all. So I left it as is. And then a month later, I reached out to him. And then he acted like nothing happened. So then we did talk for like another month. And then I felt like I was initiating too much. So I was like, well, I'm not going to reach out to him unless he does reach out to me. And now it's been since November 10th.
Yeah. So I think the energy that he's going to have to embody, and this is going to be like for your best interest, is going to be the emperor. And that's just somebody that like he needs to have a plan. He needs to have his emotional shit together. And if he doesn't, like this is going to be a point where you pay attention to less of what he says and more of what he does. Because like I said, each of us has free will. And I think like if he can get it together, there's a chance that it might work out with that Six of Pentacles, but he has to choose. Just like you're choosing him, he has to choose you in return.
Mm.
And that's the shitty part where we don't have like we can call somebody to us all day long, but if we're not ready, then like it might not happen. Three of Swords in reverse. Like, I think you just need to have a really honest conversation with him because the Three of Swords in general just talks a lot about heartache and just kind of shitty situations. But I feel like whenever you guys are together, it's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like no time has passed. Like, what do you mean? Is he
Yeah.
an air sign? He just seems like he's just unbothered. Like, I don't understand what her problem is. What now?
Aquarius.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
They're just I love an Aquarius now. I have two Aquarian children. I love them. Love them so much, but they can be kind of aloof and they have a lot of trouble like understanding the emotions of other people. They
Okay.
really do. And it's just something hardwired about them. Like they're you might still be stuck on like the argument you had last week and they're like, we're over it. Let's go on an adventure. Like, are we not spending time together? I don't understand. So it's going to be, whenever I say it's a working relationship, it's going to be you meeting him where he is. And I feel like emotionally, he's always going to be 10 steps ahead of you. So you got to be able to hold on to that.
What do you mean ahead of me?
So, like, if you're still upset about an argument,
Mhm.
he's going to be over it.
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he's not somebody that dawdles on, like, whenever he ghosted you, he was probably like, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't understand. Like, I needed some space. And
Yeah.
sometimes Aquarians do need space to like process things. But I think once he's there and he's committed, it's almost like he needs to just be around you to remind him how much he really likes you.
Okay. It's just frustrating because he thought that I ghosted him for one day and he made such a huge deal about it. And now it's been like repeatedly he does it longer and longer. Although I haven't reached out either. So it seems whenever I do reach out, he does answer back like immediately. It's just I don't always want to be the one to initiate. It's annoying.
So I think that's where your working relationship, the Six of Pentacles, is gonna come into play. It's gonna be you, unfortunately, that bears the brunt of that, of always reaching out. But whenever you have his attention, you have his attention.
Mm.
And he's like, okay, yes. So I think a really good thing for the two of you is going to be making hardcore plans to spend time together. Like no texting, not too much on the phone. Like whenever you're on the phone, it almost needs to be about business. Okay, when are we going to see each other again?
Okay. So
You
you're saying
see them?
be okay for me to reach out to him today? The only
Yeah.
thing is because, like you said, I've been advised, so I had to close out an account that was under his name, but I was charged for it. And they said, do not go through him. Don't even talk to him about it. So I was able to close it without him knowing. Because at first I was just going to be like, hey, can you close out the account? And they said, do not talk to him at all. So that's why I didn't. But for me, I was like, oh, well, it was like kind of like a sign for me. I felt like, oh, like this gives me a reason to be like, hey, I don't know. But I was told do not reach out to him at all.
I mean, whenever it's your financials and that's affecting you negatively, I have a different approach to that. I'd be like, hey, motherfucker, like you need to get your shit straight.
Yeah. I mean, it was only
Texting me, then
$1. but I was able to cancel it without him. It's just that they're going to send him a confirmation email, so he's going to get that email. He probably
Well,
won't even.
he's gonna know regardless. So I would
Yeah.
just like, if you still need to talk to him about things like that, I'd be like, hey, like I had to take care of business and you kind of weren't around. So
Mhm.
I did what was best for me in that situation. Like I would never be afraid to like do anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely. If you feel like you need to talk to him about like, especially with matters of money, then do it.
Yeah. Well, now I don't have to because I already took care of it, I guess, on my own. So I don't have a purpose to actually reach out to him now. So it'll be weird. But like, is he even like still thinking of me? Or I feel like, because I keep thinking like maybe he just moved on. Like maybe he doesn't even want this anymore.
Yeah. How serious were you guys before? Were you real serious? I mean, you had to be serious to have.
I mean, I we dated for 9 months, but I only met his children. I didn't meet his parents. I didn't meet his sister, his friends. I never met anybody. But I don't know why that was the case. He just said people didn't meet them for a while. It seemed that whenever we did get close or I asked more of him, that's when he kind of ran off.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I mean, I think you do. I think you're on his mind. Like, it definitely, the two of you just need to kind of get on the same page. And oddly enough, it feels like a miscommunication. And there's so many people telling you to like back away from this dude. It feels like, I don't know if you've got like a crowd of ladies, but it feels like a bunch of ladies talking to you and they're like, fucking.
It's
And
actually probably maybe these advisors, these readers that I need to stop going to. Like I was like, I'm just gonna go to somebody I feel like I trust. Because I've gotten so many different mixed readings and I don't want to hear and like this is I appreciate because with John you flat out said no, he is not the one.
no,
With
he wasn't.
Brian you're saying that there is a chance.
There is a chance. He's gonna have to choose it. And the way in which you phrase things is going to be very, very important. You can't just be like, "Hey, what's up?" You have to be very, very direct and be like, "Hey, I miss hanging out with you," or "I've just been thinking about you. Do you want to get coffee?" And
Okay.
remember, he has a choice. He can back out of this at any moment and be like, "This is not for me." So whenever you post these questions and you have these like talks, I would say perception, you're pulling perception is reality. Don't forget that. And I would say like what you see him do is going to be important. He doesn't feel like somebody that does a lot of talking with his face, more like his gestures, how he takes care of people, things like that. I would pay attention to what he does. Not I don't want to tell you to not like take what he says seriously, but it's almost like he shows his affection in other ways. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he did more than say things, I guess. And then whenever he did open like the last time I saw him he was drunk and that's when he did open up himself, but I guess it was because he was drunk so it was easy for him to express himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like even after 9 months, we never talked about feelings. So in October 26th, when I last saw him, he was like, "My feelings for you never changed." But I was like, "Okay, well, what kind of feelings were those?" Because you never actually said like "I love you" or anything like that. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the struggle bus. That if you choose this guy and you choose to stay like kind of here, that you're always going to be on. Ooh. So you have to decide like if you want to do that because he shows his affection in like it's almost like trying to figure out this dude's love language. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, right? And so like there is a chance, but you're always going to be kind of like in this fog unless you guys can really, really come together and be like, hey, this is how I feel. Hey, this is how I feel. I don't really feel like he was like fucking around on you or anything. He was just really wishy-washy with his affections, but it's weird because they're talking about he was like devoted in time. Whenever he's there with you, he's very present.
Yes, that's true.
Um, so I feel like you just need to get him one-on-one. I don't know why.
So if I text him today, I you think I should say I miss you? Can we see like can we plan on catching up or like
Yeah, so I would, yeah. Yeah, be direct. Don't be afraid to make the first move because I think you might be surprised on his reaction. He might be like, "Oh, shit. Okay." Um,
Scared because I feel like I'm always scared to do things with him or say things because I'm afraid it'll like push him away even more.
yeah, I would just be like, "Hey, I saw something that made me think of you." I mean, you can do even a little white lie. Just be like, "I saw a movie, it made me laugh, it made me think about like when we went on a date or whenever we used to hang out, watch it, whatever the conversation opener is." But like bring it back to a time where you guys spent one-on-one time together.
Okay.
And then be like, hey, if you would ever like to have coffee, like, or something casual, then let's do it at this date. And if you're available at this time, like, you've got to seriously make plans with this dude because he's like, is it okay? Oh, she like it's so weird.
He
It's so
doing
weird.
that? Why is he so annoying? Why can't he just take charge? It's so annoying.
Because Aquarians are just like more like go with the flow and not really take charge people. They're very affectionate, but you almost have to tell them what to do unless they're like laser focused.
Mm,
And sometimes that can be the darker side of them because if they're laser focused on you, they're very obsessed with you. And you might really love that and you might really hate it.
okay. Oh, so once I get him in, then he'll be this way. Like,
Mhm.
okay, so that's not a terrible thing. It's better than what he's doing now, not being here.
Yes, yes. So I would say, I mean, you're pulling the Hierophant, which is a yes. You're pulling the Emperor, which is like he needs to envelop an energy that is like very take charge and very much like I'm committed, I'm staying here, which I think he can definitely get it once he decides that this is what he wants. But you also have to, unfortunately, like the initiation of like bagging the dude, as I like to say, is gonna kind of fall on you a little bit. He is not somebody that goes forward and
Mm, right.
does that. And that's kind of if you were looking for a more gentler personality, I think you definitely got it. Um, you wished for this. If you were trying to call somebody into your life that was like, I need somebody that really realigns with me and like can match a lot of what I want in life, then I think you got it within him. You're pulling the Ten of Cups, which is also a really great card for this relationship. It talks about new beginnings, fresh starts, new romance, whatever you're trying to bring into your life. Like, this is a perfect time, this right here to do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Kind of like I would advise you to strike while the iron's hot
Oh,
situation. Um, you're also pulling come back down to earth. Do things that are realistic, that are low key. Like, does this dude like live far away? Like, does he have to commute to you? How can you bridge the gap between the two of you?
I mean, he only lives like 25 minutes away. He lives with his parents at the moment. So I've never been there. He always just comes to me. I've always said like, oh, I can meet you somewhere in the middle, but he would always just come to me.
I feel like that's probably that feels like two things. So I see the word embarrassment. So I think he's a little embarrassed that he lives with his parents.
Hmm.
I feel like it's almost like he ended up there and he didn't really mean to.
Yeah.
Did he have a house and lose it?
He did live by himself. He said he fell into like some kind of depression state, so he
Hmm.
couldn't have been left alone. So I guess that's the reason why he moved in with his parents. I know that he did say like, oh, it'd be probably better if he did get his own place, but maybe for financial reasons, that's why he's still there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sounds like he sounds like he's trying to work on his like mental health and get it together a little bit. So, I mean, with this guy, it just seems like you're gonna have to be the initiator because he definitely feels like he's working through something, which is good because it's better than him acknowledging that like he has a problem.
Mhm.
Um, So I definitely think that like, and I will advise you that whenever Aquarian people in general, like whenever they have big feelings, they can go low really quickly. So
Mhm.
again, if you're choosing this guy, you have to choose all facets of him,
Mhm.
not just like the shiny ones that are really attractive.
Yeah, I
You're
feel like
going to
I'm
be the one dealing with him on his darker days, especially if things get a little bit more serious.
okay. It's just I feel like the part that I don't like is when he disappears. Like there's no communication. That's the one thing that I feel like I don't know if I could deal with that for a long time or forever. Like obviously as a bad day or I don't know whatever. I feel like I'm okay with that. It's a no communication part that really bothers me.
Oh, yeah, I understand. It's almost like you just need him to get a you just need a commitment out of him.
Hmm.
That's it. Like, and then I think he's probably going to be up your ass a lot. Um, which is good if that's what you like. Like, I don't judge. Everybody likes their relationships a different way. Um, but you're pulling a lot of good cards, like as far as relationship wise, my end. But you just have to like approach it kind of slow. Um, the blank at the crossroads comes in, and I think this talks about a choice for like you and him, choosing each other and choose which direction you go to. Do you have kids?
I have two, and
Are
he
they
has.
girls?
I have a boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl. Okay. But he has kids, right?
Or three.
He has
He has
three.
two
Are
boys,
those
and a girl.
boys and a girl? Okay. Um, are they older than your kids? Like, is this dude older?
No, he's the same age as me, and then the
Okay.
are one of them is a little younger than my daughter, and then the other two are small. They're younger than my son.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this is going to be like, I don't know how serious you want it to be, but I feel like it almost ends up like a blended family situation. I don't know if you guys get married, but I definitely feel like you guys become committed. Um, but it's going to take some time. You're pulling the Two of Cups, which talks about our water element, our emotions, our needs. And really, did you hit him on like, not hit him, but like, did you guys kind of initially get together where he was like at the cusp of a separation or
He
divorce? Like he was kind of fresher from that?
actually kind of he broke up, and when I asked him how long was his previous relationship, he said 7 months. So I remember talking to my friend. I was like, 7 months doesn't seem too long, and I still
Hmm.
really affected by it. Like I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like because he said that he's never done this before, like the pulling away. But then I don't know. I'm wondering why now.
Yeah, yeah. There's something about whatever it was. I don't know if he's just kind of like afraid to settle down. He needs to kind of choose to be all in because Two of Cups talks about working together. You guys can have like a very good working collaborative relationship. There's a point in which, if you guys can get together, I see you guys like maybe opening a business. Like, I think if you guys can get serious and like really working together, um, you'll be really good. Like, the Two of Cups is a really great card for relationships, but it talks about calling in people that he kind of has to have the shit together. And like, maybe he doesn't have like his depression completely under control, but like, as long as he's willing to acknowledge and like be with you,
Hmm.
then I think it can work out. But he has to choose this.
Okay.
It's okay for you to initiate if you want. And I think it's just going to be slow. Like I think if you text him, you're going to get like a good response out of him.
Hmm.
Um, but you have to kind of look at where he is, where he is. The High Priestess, did you kind of have a lot of like good vibes about him whenever you first met him? Because the High Priestess talks about like good intuitive thoughts, feelings, and just like being in touch with your intuition.
Yeah, because before him, I dated other people, and I was like, this isn't working out, and I easily like was like, we're not going to see each other anymore. And then everybody was always like, oh, like it seems like you have your wall up, your guard is up. And I thought it was funny because all these men would say this to me. And then when I met him, he said the same. And then I was like, something about him made me drop those walls.
Mhm.
now I feel like they're back up again because of what he's doing to me. But yeah, I did feel like I could be myself with him or let those walls down a bit with him.
Yeah, yeah. So I would definitely like, you've got a lot of good cards. You've got a lot of good cards here. And I would say there is a chance that you guys can kind of get it together, but you're gonna have to be like the initiator, the person that goes after him, and you're gonna have to be kind of the boss.
For
And
like a while, I initiate.
so do I think it's gonna be a while that you have to initiate? It's almost like you're in charge. You're in charge, I feel like, of the relationship. Like whenever you guys come together and you are like committed, he's gonna be like, "Oh, well, what do you want to eat?" Okay, like very like whatever you want. I don't care.
Okay.
You are gonna be making a lot of the decisions.
Okay.
So you got to be comfortable with that.
Okay. Okay. I just felt like I don't know, I get confused with him because I thought he was the one who wanted to lead or make the decisions. And then if I did that, then it would be kind of like I'm taking that away from him, or maybe I don't know.
But if he wanted to lead, then he would be leading.
But I know. And then that's why I was like, well, I always think like, well, if a man wants a woman, they would make it work. So for me, I'm like, does he even want me? Like, why hasn't he even initiated contact for this
I
long?
think he does. I think he has a lot of mental struggles that he doesn't talk about.
Hmm.
And that almost like paralyzes him. Like he might on the outside be very like macho and stuff, but on the inside he'd just be like, whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fine. You want that? Okay, cool.
Oh, I mean, the last time I saw him, he did say that he's like I've been thinking of you like every day. He's like I wasn't talking to any other women. He's like I swear on my children, which other people have told me that he's been cheating on me the entire time, and I didn't want to believe it. And then he said that he was in some kind of like mental state where he would wake up like every day saying like he felt worthless. So he said that's where he was at the last time I saw him.
I told you. I
Yeah.
told you this guy has a lot. He has a lot going on. I feel like the people that are advising you don't really like you or like telling you that he's cheating on you, like they don't really like you.
Mhm. Okay.
Um,
Uh,
sorry to tell you that.
like, but he swore on
Um,
his children. They were like, well, he lied. I was like, who would swear on their children though? That's awful. And I
yeah,
never got that sense from him that he was like, I don't know.
I don't think it doesn't feel like he's a cheater. It doesn't feel like he's a cheater. I think Ace of Pentacles also talks about like this is gonna work out. Like you've got really good cards about this dude. I don't think it's anything that you would do purposely to like push him away. I think his struggles are his own. And that's why I caution that if this is somebody you want to go after, he's going to have a lot of bad days. It's almost like, I don't want to use the word like bipolar, but he just wakes up and he's like, I feel like shit.
Oh, okay.
And remember, there is a reason why he drinks so much. He might not say it. He might not talk about it, but like there's reasons for that. It's not because he's fucking around on you, it's because he's a little broken.
Okay. Because also, that's not the time I've heard the drinking thing. Like when we were together, we never really drank a lot. So I guess it was when we were not together, he would drink, or is this something new? Because I know like he smoked and he said he was trying to cut back on that, but drinking wise, I never really saw him. I don't know.
The devil comes in and talks about addictions and addictive behavior. And I think he drinks whenever nobody's looking. He drinks more whenever he's sad. Feels
Okay.
like he drinks more whenever he's sad. Like that's a crutch.
Mm,
So, but I think if he can get his life kind of more together, more stable. Like it's all in here. He's his own worst problem.
okay.
And like, I feel like he's also a very different person whenever he's drinking than whenever he's sober.
Like in a bad way, you mean?
Not like in a bad way, but I feel like he's just a little bit more impulsive
Oh,
whenever he's drinking. And he doesn't feel like it just feels like whenever he's drinking, he's sad. Like if he's drinking, it's because he's sad. And I don't really know why. Like, I feel like that might be like a lot of his childhood, maybe some things he has to deal with that he just hasn't for
Mhm.
whatever reason. Um, but yeah, he has some darker sides. Remember, when Aquarians go low whenever they go low, and anything, the smallest little thing can kind of make them spiral.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when I made that comment, it seemed to just take him out, and it wasn't supposed to be anything bad, which is what somebody else said that I guess because I asked for him to give me more time, now he feels like he felt like he was doing his best. So now if his best wasn't good enough for me, he doesn't want to try.
See, it's so dramatic. So like, so I would say that yes, you can initiate. Yes, like I think this is a good time right now. This time frame right now. This month.
I'll do it today.
Um,
I'll
yeah,
do it today.
yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
update you.
Yeah. And you can let me know how it goes. Like I'm totally down. I call these my tarot romance stories. Anytime somebody comes in and like wants a love reading, I'm like, let me know. Um, so let me know how it goes. But yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of good cards here. He needs to get it together. And you on for as far as your part have to be very take charge and very direct. Like I think this would be fun for us to experience. Like it's all gonna boil down to your language because your language got you in trouble with him the last time, right? How you formulated things, how you said things. So whenever you say something, you have to be like, I'm in the scope of I'm gonna take charge and we're gonna I think this would be cool to go do this. Or, I'm going to spend time with you on Monday at 2 o'clock. Are you free?
Yeah, I know. It's because I was at the place last time when I was like, well, what do I have to lose? So then that's when I said, I was like, you promised me the world and now I'm getting even less. I was like, well, what do I have to lose? Like, I barely see him. I barely talk to him. And then now I'm like, why did I do that? Maybe if I was more patient, maybe if I had given him more time, like, I don't know. So now I hold that in my head too. Like, I wish I could go back in time and like change it.
So I think like as things like for right now, like you're just going to have to be very delicate whenever you approach it. But as things get more deeper committed, then I think it'll work out for you. And
Okay.
those will be safe to like, that'll be a safe space for you to say those feelings and just like apologize and be like, I'm sorry if I hurt you or whatever. Like, that really wasn't my intention. But now we're here and I want to start from a good, safe space for
Yeah.
both.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Just see what he does. Nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. This is also going to be a good time that if you like do any love spell candles or anything like that, do it and just light it every day. Like I see you with a good 7-day candle and just talking to it like you would him and like trying to manifest that because you're powerful, girl. You got some intuitive sparks in you. You can do it.
Okay. I mean, I've gotten like manifestations, like sayings, or the what is it, a whispering technique, or listen to manifest him in your dreams, like all kinds of advice too. I've gotten everything, so my mind is like,
I wouldn't go that wide with it. I would just start with a candle.
okay, like
And
candle. I mean, like one candle, or
yeah, you can just do like one 7-day candle, red little seven
oh,
day red candle,
okay,
and just talk to it like you would him and be like, I want you to text me. I want you to be with me. I want you to blah 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 blah. Fill in the blank. Be
hmm,
very specific though, whenever you do that with him. Um,
okay,
but yeah, I think it'll work out. Like this feels really good. This is lot of good, like a lot of good cards.
very different from our last reading, so this is good.
And I hope this is better advice than your previous ones.
Yeah, yeah, this is hopeful.
Yes. Like I said, you're gonna get a copy of this reading. And so you can listen to it and you can kind of digest it in a different way, especially after you like initially talk to him, so you can hear more of the advice
Hmm.
over and over and over again. Please send me your email so I can send it to you. Um,
And
but
then
if you need anything else, I'm around.
yeah, can we add more time? I guess I'm assuming I need more time so I can do like I guess career and I guess,
Oh, yeah. Did you want to do 30 more minutes?
yeah, I guess we could do that because I'm also curious about my finances and where that's gonna go.
Okay, yeah, no problem. So I will set up another meeting and you can just book again on psychiclexi.com.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm going to end this one and then I'll send you another one.
Okay. All right.